So, Navid, how are you feeling?
Hi, I'm excellent. Let me start my screen so that I will start my introduction and then just a minute. Okay, guys. Good morning, good afternoon, good evenings. You guys are based on different locations. Okay, so let me first introduce myself. I believe that inshallah this training will be a very good training for all of you guys, and you will learn a lot today to help your businesses move in the right directions. And tomorrow we will have more additional training on digitalization stuff. So let me introduce first myself. My name is Sayyid Naveed Hussain. I am from Pakistan. I'm an industrial engineer by profession. I am also executive MBA in marketing and finance. I have 16 years of experience in plant operations management, lead multiple businesses for startups and lean manufacturing, work in the big multinational like Procter & Gamble, Honda, Mondelez, and Obico investment groups in 6 different countries like UK, Nigeria, Morocco, Egypt, Saudi Arabia. I have been engaged in the business excellence program since last 12 years. Implemented integrated work system for P&G, ILCSS for Mondelez, WCOM, Obico manufacturing excellence programs. I have been leading the WCOM program since last 4 years as a head, and managing digital transformation since last 2 years as well. Okay, going to the next pillar is PQ pillar. Okay, which basically focus heavily on the process waste and claims the issues which is related to our process and our products. So this pillar mainly, as I said, that is focused on the material losses, which means that it focuses on the losses related to the quality defects. Okay, it can affect the losses related to the process scrap, yield, or overuses. Okay. This pillar helps us with the 3 important methodology, which is the setup waste reduction routes, process waste reduction route, and defect reduction route. Okay, so defect reduction means that if we are having the waste or quality issues, we are having most probably some defects which are causing this. Okay, process waste reduction means that we are producing a waste, for sure there is something wrong with our process. So we need to evaluate our process conditions to attack this losses. Similarly, the setup waste is a route which help us evaluate our waste related to the make ready and setup and changeovers, and why we are having this much waste. So there are 3 methodologies this pillar help us to eliminate. Going to the detail of the steps, the pillar has 7 steps, 6 steps basically. Like all other pillars, this pillar also has the first step is analyze the claims and the waste, which means that first you define your targets, and then you analyze your claims and your waste, and then you deploy your targets. Okay, and you also make sure that if you have some kind of standards in place in terms of quality inspections, you revisit that and make sure that you have the right defect modes defined in terms of the waste category, because every business has some kind of quality inspections. We check some variables and attributes, and there is obviously some logic behind that why you are doing this inspection. And because someone has evaluated the needs for these inspections, because we have done some kind of a 4M analysis. If we have nothing done like this, we need to do that. That we need to really evaluate every single process in terms of 4M analysis to evaluate that what kind of whatever we are producing, do we have any losses linked to the man, method, machine, material. So based on this, you define the inspection standards. Okay. Then once you know all your targets and you know your issues, you go to the second step of the pillar, which called reduce claims and waste through the restoration of the quality system. As I said, that every business has some kind of a quality control system. So they always have some kind of a system to which is implemented in terms of the control your quality, in terms of inspections, in terms of some people use hourly inspection strategy, some use based on the sampling. So there is always some kind of system in place to which is there for the purpose of having specific inspections. So we need to do that in the step 2. We need to restore that plan. We need to make sure that if we have a plan, we make sure that this plan is really effective and is really working. Okay, And also we do the waste and defect data collection system. In case if we have any issue with our waste and the defects information, we evaluate it and we find out the opportunities and we fix in case if you want to fix. Okay. And then the last thing is that we also start talking about if we know in our quality plans some critical parameters based on our quality inspections and the customer claims that there are some critical parameters which are causing rejection from our customer. You start using SPC at that time on some product category, critical product category characteristics to make sure that you are evaluating and understanding that why these parameters are really getting out of control. Then the step 3, you start using noun condition methodology to restore by restoring them to reduce the claims and the waste. Okay. So what you do basically is that you evaluate your machine conditions. You go and assess your machine in terms of process standards and in terms of inspection standards. And then you make sure that we have the right standards in place in terms of maintaining the equipment. Okay. And if there is any issue, we restore our standard in case if it is not being followed. So for example, every operator need to do some inspections in terms of he need to do, for example, in the AM we have defined some cleaning, inspection, lubrication. Similarly, there are some operating standards which machine supplier, for example, has defined that you need to check these parameters in terms of temperature, pressure, or settings. Are we really following these standards? Are we really maintaining the standards? So we need to do this analysis to make sure that the standards are really in there and are really being followed properly. And there is a mechanism there in terms of daily control system. So whatever of meetings and structures we have, we are making sure that we are making sure that the standards are being followed over there. Then in the advanced steps, we start talking about the process improvement and using the advanced techniques to further reduce the losses. So process improvement techniques are basically that what you do basically, you say that okay, we know our conditions. Now the next important thing is that whatever inspections we are doing and whatever defects we are still facing, what is the link of these defects to our machine conditions? We check this in the QX matrix. And then this machine condition, do we really have some QM, which means that the maintenance standards mean that are we really having some kind of standard in place to address this defect modes? So you go deep into develop the QX and QM matrix for all your equipments and areas in this stage to make sure that for all of our defects, we know that why these defects are happening and why we have to, what we need to do in terms of machine, what is the link to the machine to these defects, and what are the machine standards in terms of maintenance we have in place to maintain it. If we don't have, we develop it. Okay. Then in the advanced techniques, we also then, if after all we still have some specific problem, we use advanced techniques in terms of SPC tools to help up evaluate our specific losses, and we do deep analysis and try to address them. And then in the last step is a zero defect mentality, basically that we evaluate the quality critical inspections, and then we make it part of a specific need of the operator to make sure that he is doing the quality critical inspection. And he is making sure that he is inspecting all the critical inspections and making sure that standards are being maintained. So moving on with the process waste reduction, which is one of the methodology of this pillar, is basically that to reduce the waste. So like all other methodologies, in the first step, you always define your setup types, kind of waste and all the operational waste you are having. So in process waste, you have two kind of waste. One thing is the setup waste, and other is the normal process waste. So either you have some historical data, so use that to define your type of waste, or if you don't have, you start doing the data collection, and then you define your priority analysis based on the biggest loss, if you're having the setup losses or you're having the more process issue. So at the first step, you just define your priorities. You do the analysis and you define your priorities. In the second step, again, every pillar will go back to the AM to help them. So the second step of this is again that restore the basic condition, which means that if your equipment is not in a good condition, which means that if you have not done the AM step 1, you need to go and do it immediately in this step, because most probably you may have some quality issues and defects because you are not having your machine in the best condition, and because of defects, or because you might be not having a cleaning inspection standard, which are causing you to have the quality issues. So you do basically you go and do this part and make sure that you return the machine and equipment to the base condition by eliminating all the defects and restoring the standards if possible, all the standards. Then you go to the step 3. So again, what we do in the past, we used to just do this part. This third part till the next part is the most important, because we don't stop there. We go and make sure that once we restore the equipment, we go and check again that are we still having the same waste or same problems. So we put a system of recording the anomalies. Okay, we start tracking that are we still having the similar waste, similar losses, and we also at the same time we train the operators on whatever we have learned in terms of the best standards and making sure that they are following the standards. Okay, then we go to the step 4, and whatever, in case if we have identified the problems with our losses in terms of the still having the defects, we analyze our anomalies and we do the same cause and effect and fishbone analysis to identify the loss reasons, and then we develop the countermeasures. Again, you will be focusing mainly heavily on the machine. So when we will do that, we will be talking about that what are the defect reasons and what are the machine condition linked to these defects, and that is what you develop the new standards and then you go and improve and implement the standard. Then the step 5, that once you all do all these things, then you reclassify your activity. That you say that okay, whatever we have improved, do we have any problem with our setup type? It means that whatever we are doing the setups, are we really having the setup in the right way? Setup means that your changeovers, are we having the setup in the side? So this is point where you F5 pillar will be also helping you that because they will be working on optimizing the changeovers by readjusting the activity. So they can also help you here by using the ECR techniques to help you improve the activities of the setup to reduce the waste in case you have the waste in your setups. And then obviously hold the game concept that, okay, you do this and then you just develop the improvement OPL and you develop a mechanism of visual management that whatever you have achieved, you are maintaining it and you are using, you are training the operator all the time and you are discussing whatever the improved standards in your daily business and following the standards.